today we're going to talk about Mrs. Garabuso. Who is Mrs. Garabuso? Yeah.
The principal.
She's the principal. What is a principal? Daniel, what's a principal?
Someone, make sure everyone does the right thing.
Okay, what do you think the principal is, Chris?
She's in charge of the school.
She's in charge of the school. Sounds like she has a pretty important job. What do you think she does? Yes.
She helps people.
She helps people. What else do you think she does? What do you think, Amber?
I think she helps everybody clean up the whole entire class.
Okay, talk nice and loud so we can hear you. Okay.
I think Mrs. Garabuso cleans up the whole entire class in the school.
Boy, she must do a lot of hard work.
Yep.
How old? Don't you think you have to be pretty old to do that kind of work?
Yeah.
No? How old do you think Mrs. Garabuso is?
I think she's 35.
35? What do you think? How old do you think she is? 40. What do you think, Chris?
53.
53. That's a great number.
As old as the school.
Who is Mrs. Garabuso?
The principal.
That's the principal, Callie. That's right. Who could tell me, what do you think Mrs. Callie, where does she work, first of all? Where does Mrs. Garabuso work? George?
At the school.
At the school. Where in the school?
In the office.
In the office. Is that what you were going to say? Yes.
Main office.
The main office. That's right. You know what? I wonder, though, what do you think she does in that office all day long? What?
I think she tells people what the teachers and things to do stuff, and she puts out the announcements.
Okay, that's right. What do you think, Callie? What do you think she does?
I think she does paperwork about everybody, or she studies the names to remember each other.
Because she knows every name, doesn't she? George, what are you going to say?
She brings homework and morning.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think she does?
She works on a computer. She has a computer.
Yeah? And what kind of work does she do? She play games? Play video games?
Paperwork.
Paperwork. Okay, she works hard, doesn't she? Yes, she does. Well, you know, this year, Mrs. Garabuso is going to retire. And do you know what retire means?
Yes.
What do you think retire means?
She's done with her job and she wants to move on.
She wants to move on. That's a beautiful thing to say, move on. Where do you think she's going to move on to?
Another school.
Another school? What do you think?
Another work.
What kind of work? What would she do? She was a principal here. What do you think she'd do?
Be another principal, maybe.
Oh, well, I don't know if she's going to go, but she's going to retire. That means she's going to stop. But what do you think, what else could she do besides that? What do you think she'd be good at? George, what do you...
She's gonna retire, but she's gonna still be in this school. She's gonna do she's gonna do something else in this school.
What could she do?
Principal, be a teacher or something.
Be a teacher, okay. What do you think? You had something else to say.
Be an assistant principal, except not a principal, just an assistant.
Oh, an assistant principal, okay. Do you remember anything that Mrs. Garabuso has done for you while you've been in the school?
Northside's birthday.
Northside's birthday. What else does she do? What'd she do at Northside's birthday?
She let us go in secret hideouts, in the basement on the long conga line.
Oh my goodness! Was that fun?
Yeah.
And what else did she do?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it? How come?
No.
Ah. Did the other kids have fun?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you think that Mrs. Garabuso, where do you think she might go after she leaves Northside? If she decides she's not going to be a teacher anymore, or a principal, what do you think she might do?
She might go be an engineer.
She has a very, very important job. Why do you think she would want to retire from this very important job?
probably she's a little bit now tired. I think she wants to be with her family now. Maybe she's gotten to a certain time when she can't do this job anymore and she has to let someone else do it.
It's going to be sad to see her go. When you see Mrs. Garabuso, what do you think of? How does she make you feel?
I think of her as my mom for the day when I'm at school, because when I'm at school I don't see my mom for 6 hours, and when I'm walking down the hallways I see Mrs. Garabuso walking there and I said hi and she's like, hi sweetie.
That's a nice thing.
I think of her as a kind person, and I also think of her as a mathematician. I think of her as a helper to people who don't really know much, like she's kind of helping them as they go.
Do you have a special memory of Mrs. Garabuso?
Oh yeah, well, she's a very nice person, very nice. And every time I see her, she walks down the hallway. I love that thing that she walks, and I'm looking at her and I'm saying in my head, I'm like, wow, she's very nice. She's nice.
Do you have a special?
I have a really special memory that we were learning bar graphs in my room, and Mrs. Garabuso and Miss Wedner would come to our room and help us with math problems. And I remember Mrs. Garabuso, she had taped squares on our floor, and we still have them there. They're peeling, but we still have them. And I'm hoping that they'll be there for the next years. And I just remember her helping us with bar graphs and math and coming to us when we needed help with a problem.
Sounds very special. Does anybody else have a special memory?
I have a memory, it's not really a memory, but you come into our room and give us compliments when we're reading, when we're when we're really quiet, when we're reading, and if she just gives us compliments when we're doing our math problems. She always smiled, and she didn't have a frown. She kept her smile on. The last thing is, I really think that Mrs. Garabuso, I think she should really remember Mrs. Anderson, because she's usually with her a lot, because Mrs. Anderson is like her sister.
That's right. They're very close. They work very closely together. What traits would you say Mrs. Garabuso has? Yes.
I think she's kind and she's generous to everyone, especially the kids and teachers.
Okay, what would you say?
I think she's problem solving. Because she could solve any problem, and also she's awesome at math.
That's right.
I say she's kind, and she gives a lot of our time to us, and she gives a lot of her. She gives her time and her soul to us.
Do you have a special memory of Mrs. Garabuso that you want to share? Go ahead. Everybody will have a time.
When we went in kindergarten for the kindergarten Halloween parade that we did.
Yes. What was your memory?
That she loved the parade and everyone was behind her.
And was she dressed a certain way?
Yeah.
How was she dressed?
I forgot what she was dressed as, but I know that she was in a Halloween costume.
Was it the duck? Was it the year she was a duck?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. What was your memory?
My memory with Miss Garabuso was in 4th grade. She came into my classroom and said that we had to for every piece of paper we used, you had to pay for it, and we all got so scared, and everyone said that they were going to transfer to a different school or get homeschooled because they didn't want to pay for every piece of paper they wanted.
So how did that end?
She came into our classroom at the end of the day and told us it was all a joke.
A joke?
A joke.
Was it April Fool's?
But No, it was for a lesson that we had to learn. We
What?
were doing no taxation without representation.
Oh, so that was a good lesson, wasn't it? Okay, yes.
My North Side memory is when she would always lead the conga line and she would put on like the fun music and she would always walk around the school with us. And I bet none of the other principals in the other schools have done like something like that.
Do you have something you'd like to share with her about how you feel about her?
Yeah, I said that she was leaving, but I think it's better for her because she worked really hard as a principal and she was really good to all of us.
Okay, all right. So would you like to say goodbye to Mrs. Garabuso and maybe throw her a kiss?
Bye, we'll miss you.
What do you think her hobbies might be? What do you picture her doing? Think she's a lion tamer? What do you think her hobbies are?
Maybe she likes to read.
Oh, that's one of her favorite things is reading. What else do you think she might like to do, Jack?
She likes to talk, communicate with friends.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. Yes, Olivia.
Right?
Right. How did you know that, Olivia? She loves writing. Let's talk about some of the things that we know about
She
Mrs.
always
Garrett.
does fun stuff for Northside's birthday. She does the conga line. She makes Northside fun.
That's what she makes it fun, right? And what about, is it easy to learn when you're having fun? Yes, it is. If you could say something to Mrs. Garabuso, let's pretend Mrs. Garabuso was standing right there and she's walking out the door, walking out of our lives. What would you say to her? Nora? Say that again? Oh, that's nice. Jack?
I would say goodbye, and I hope you have a nice life. So, and I'll give her a hug.
How about you, Olivia?
I would say good morning and goodbye and give her a hug.
What would you say?
Goodbye.
Okay. Just goodbye?
I give her a hug.
A hug. Okay. Well, let's give Mrs. Garabuso a wave goodbye. Let's all say goodbye. And how about throwing her a big kiss? Ready? 1, 2, 3. What do you think she's going to do when she retires? Looking at Mrs. Garabuso, what do you think is her heart's desire? What do you think she might do?
I'm thinking that she might go around the world because I think of her as so adventurous that I think she might go to Alaska, to Egypt, really anywhere because she's so
What do
adventurous.
you think is one of the most important things you've learned from Mrs. Garabuso? Yes.
To stay in school and have some fun if you're in school and always stay safe.
What were you going to say?
Respect the rules and don't be such with an eye.
Start with an I? Well, think about it for a second. Don't be... All right, think about it for a minute. Think about the word. What do you think?
To try not to be shy and listen to the rules, and you can have fun, but you can't have so much fun because sometimes you could get in trouble or.
Okay. What were you going to say? Your best lesson.
To be as nice as possible and don't bully and to respect others.
Respect. Yes. Remember?
Don't be
Inappropriate.
Make it a great retirement day or not. The choice is yours.